I've not seen this, so we're watching this together as friends on the internet.
Speaking of disgusting displays of horrific anti-Semitism, Hasan Piker. Now, Hasan Piker has been really pushing the boundaries of what Twitch is allowed to do, in no small part because Twitch's CEO, I think his name is Dan Clancy, is absolutely obsessed with this Turkish. He cannot get enough Turkish in him. He loves it. Everything that Hasan does is A-okay. Don't worry about it. People have been permanently banned from Twitch for much, much less. But I'm assuming that Dan Clancy just really fucking hates Israel. And he thinks that anybody that supports Israel or doesn't support Israel is good. Everybody who supports Israel is bad. So virulent anti-Semitism from Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch. Hasan made another oopsie. He said that... how the fuck did I forget his name? It's like Tim Scott. No, Tim Scott's the other one. What the fuck is this? Scott... Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. I know who this guy is. Is it Tim Scott? Are they both Tim Scott? No, Tim Scott is from South Carolina. Who's the Scott from? He's like the governor of fucking Florida. I'm so embarrassed. I know who this guy is. I've known him since before I even had like a podcast or a website because he was the CEO of Healthcare America. Rick Scott, Jesus. Okay, here's a thing that I've talked about before. It's a fact that I've been aware of for a long time because I'm familiar with Healthcare America. In the 1990s, Rick Scott was the CEO of HCA, the largest company owning private hospitals in the United States of America. And what Rick Scott did is he oversaw and perpetrated an immense fraud against Medicare Medicaid, where he ordered that their hospitals bill Medicare Medicaid more money for those patients because the government basically never defaults. So it used to be back in the day that people paid a reasonable amount for healthcare, but Rick Scott got really had a really funny idea where he decided that he would just bill the American government twice as much for any Medicare Medicaid patients. Medicare Medicaid sued over this, and Rick Scott was removed as CEO. Now, Healthcare America and all health providers in the United States charge twice as much anyways. So what happened was that they used to just swindle the government for taxpayer dollars. Now they swindle everybody, and if you go bankrupt, they don't give a fuck because Medicare Medicaid will just pay out. So what the government was really upset about was that they were getting paid, charging extra for them because they would never default on the bill. But the solution to this that the hospitals came up with was that they would just charge everybody way more, and the government can't complain because they are paying the fair market value of those things that they set the prices for. So just completely fucked over all of Medicare, and then after they got sued, they over the entire United States. So if you want to know why our healthcare is so expensive, it's because HCA fucked you bloody and dead. And then Rick Scott, after being freshly let off from CEO of Healthcare America, ran for Senate in Florida. I can't remember if he was a senator first or a governor first, but he's both. I'm pretty sure he used to be a senator in Florida, and I think he was a governor of Florida as well. So he immediately went from defrauding the out of the government to defrauding everybody in the United States to running for Senate and governor in Florida, winning both of them and just making so much money you can't even possibly imagine it. So Hasan Piker said he made the audacious claim that if you're going to start shooting healthcare CEOs, you should start with Rick Scott because of the healthcare debacle, which, to be fair to Hasan, knowing about the HCA Medicare fraud is like actually learned knowledge from a bygone era. So that's a little bit impressive that he even knows about that. But that is a very audacious claim to make about a former politician, one of the richest men in the United States. So of course, Dan Clancy took immediate action to remedy the situation by banning Hasan Piker from Twitch for 3 days. This, of course, would seriously disrupt Hasan Piker more than you think. You think 3 days, that's not that much for calling for the death of like a U.S. politician. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. So, and it was a really big deal for Hasan because he was set to cover some fucking bullshit that was going to make him a lot of money. So he'd have to miss out on covering that big event except that Dan Clancy actually lifted the ban after one day so he could stream the thing and make all the money. So he didn't even get like a 24-hour ban for saying that we should kill politicians in the United States, which, I mean, you know, if that's the way the pendulum wants to swing, who am I? I'm just a precarious observer of these things. I have no control or influence over the world around me. If the pendulum wants to swing in this stochastic terrorist direction, I am but a mere ant looking up at things I don't understand, chat. Just too far out of my realm of comprehension. Got unbanned after 1 day, 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Very, very long ban there. That's stupid.